PDP chieftain Dele Momodu knocks Omokri, accusing him of becoming Tinubu's blind defender. Veteran journalist and former presidential aspirant of People's Democratic Party (PDP), Dele Momodu has slammed former aide to President Goodluck Jonathan, Omokri, accusing him of being a blind supporter of President Bola Tinubu's policies that have plunged the country into an economic crisis. The Ovation magazine publisher further described Omokri as an opportunist with a modern-day Tinubuist who now takes delight in attacking anyone who criticizes the Tinubu administration's lapses. Momodu, in an open letter on Wednesday, called out Tinubu, said that the president was busy engaging in waste by purchasing private jets, building monuments, and distributing palliatives rather than fixing the collapsed economy. The veteran journalist lamented that the waste by Tinubu's government was a sign of a failed administration. Momodu urged Tinubu to curb excessive spending, focus on economic development, vocational skills, and local agriculture, while warning him against those he described as hero worshippers in government and emphasized enforcing discipline, especially regarding Nyesom Wike's actions. Following the letter, Omokri took his ex-handle to attack Momodu in Tinubu's defense. He wrote, and I quote, "I read your open letter to President Bola Tinubu in which you said our economy has virtually collapsed, among other things. Respectfully, the facts do not support your assertions, and in your open letter you did not provide any facts, only opinions. So please, let me present some facts that contradict your opinions. Firstly, only yesterday, the International Monetary Fund projected that due to the reforms being undertaken by the current administration, Nigeria will have a 3.1 GDP growth rate in 2024. This is one of the best projections for an African country in 2024 and does not signal an economy that has virtually collapsed. Secondly, Nigeria had a record high of 6.52 trillion naira trade surplus in the first quarter of 2024. This has never happened before. We routinely had trade deficits in the past. This means that because of the monetary reforms by the current government, Nigeria is now exporting significantly more than it is importing, and the growth is largely in the non-oil sector. For example, Nigeria is now a net exporter of cement to Europe and a growing exporter of refined petroleum products to Europe and West African states. Ghana, a fellow petroleum exporting country, is largely dependent on LPG from Nigeria. This projects growth and not collapse. Thirdly, in terms of revenue, all Nigerian states bar none have received significantly higher federal allocations since May 29, 2023 than they were receiving under the Buhari regime. Each state now gets at least 45% more federal allocation, with Nasarawa getting almost 100% more and Anambra getting 70% more, whereas the wage bill has not increased. They are both project economic strength rather than collapse. Fourthly, according to financial derivatives, FDC, with a rerun on investment, 22.9%, Nigerian Stock Exchange is now the most profitable market on earth. Nigerian Stock Exchange bar none. Please note that bar none. The National Bureau of Statistics has corroborated this. For the first time in our history, the All-Share Index (ASI) crossed the 100,000 mark in 2024. I will not categorize such growth as collapse, and I'm sure investors who smart at the bank will not either. Fifthly, capital inflow into Nigeria increased by 66.27% this year. This is probably why Fitch and S&P Global Ratings upgraded Nigeria's economy to a stable B, and why foreign inflows into the capital market jumped from 5-fold in the first quarter of 2024 to 93.37 billion from 18.12 billion in the same period last year. Sixthly, despite clearing the backlog of foreign exchange debt owed to foreign airlines and other foreign investors by the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigeria's foreign reserve hit a year-to-date high of an estimated $34 billion this year. How can a nation with such a healthy reserve be said to be on the verge of economic collapse? Finally, the student loan promise is now a reality and is being disbursed. That means Nigeria is about to witness a dramatic increase in its human resources as more youth will have access to education. Therefore, bearing the above in mind, is it not possible, Dele, that you may have focused too much on assumption and too little on facts to become to your conclusion that Nigeria economy is collapsing? Dissatisfied with the attack, Momodu also took to X to criticize Omokri defense of Tinubu's policies, emphasizing the difference between economic theories and real-life economic conditions, warning him against blind support and urged him to say the honest truth to prevent Nigeria's worsening crisis. In the rejoinder titled Urgent Message for President Tinubu, Momodu schooled Omokri on the differences between economic and economy. I have just read Mr. Reynolds' response to my earlier article titled Urgent Message for President Tinubu. Since I'm not a fan of fake economic theories and bear no positive impact on societies and the citizens, I won't waste my readers' time on trading words with Reno. I will only make the following observation. 1. What happened to my brother Reno that he feels he must defend many of the most atrocious policies of the Tinubu government? 2. I believe Reno is too brilliant to waste his talent on a government that cannot even defend itself in good conscience. 3. When did Reno become a born-again Tinubu that he is fully taking over the jobs of Ajuri and Onanaga combined? Otherwise, he would have known the difference between economics and economy. Economics mainly deals with the textbook theories, where the economy deals with the practical and realistic conditions of the people on a day-to-day basis. All the economic ratings quoted by Reno have no meaning in Nigeria of today. No textbook can envisage or say the unprecedented hunger and sufferings of Nigeria. Our country is hemorrhaging to death, while pseudo-economists are regaling us with an over-romanticized magic of IMF and World Bank. What enablers like Reno and company are doing by their blind support for a government that needs honest truth is reminiscent of the story of Maria Antoinette, the bride of King Louis XVI, St. Louis XVI, who told the lumping protectorate in France to eat cake if bread is too expensive for them. If, in her majestic delusion of grandeur and provocative ignorance, the queen did not know that bread and cake have the same origin, and the latter is actually more expensive. What happened next? Revolution swept away most members of the French privilegencia. Today, Nigerians are substituting tomatoes with watermelon to cook food. I never wish such the evil to befall Nigeria. My dear beloved country, but prevention is oftentimes better than cure. I pray President Tinubu will somehow arrest this obvious drift towards perdition. I love the way that they're schooling themselves, not the same politicians, then they for the same political class. The thing is, I have said it before and I'll say it again. No matter what the government does, as far it does not reflect, as far the people do not see any relief, I don't mean them if they let them start sharing money from now till next year, to the next 8 years. It's none of my business. As far those things they're doing is not reflecting, it's not giving people relief. People are not feeling relief. My dear, they're wasting their time. Alright, on this note, you've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest.